Hey guys, Demi here from Atlas Vibrations, and I am here with your Mercury retrograde and Aries collective update. And I know that it's been a little heavy. We got a solar eclipse supermoon in Aries in a few days. So the same theme that is happening with this Mercury retrograde, or I should say the eclipse, it's the same thing. So you're feeling that there is one particular area in your life, and the best example that I can give is Aries rules my 7th house, so I'm seeing a lot of changes and healing within my one-to-one relationships. And I'll do the Aries super moon eclipse in a few days, obviously, and we'll get there. And I'll put that video out for you guys probably over the weekend. And so Aries and Mercury retrograde in Aries, you guys are feeling really in survival mode right now because Aries is a masculine sign. It is a fire sign. It is ruled by the symbolism of the ram. It is the first sign in the zodiac calendar, and it is the opposite of Libra on the nodal axis, and it is ruled by Mars. So a lot of masculine energy, a lot of energy feeling like we're fighting for things. And so I was told the key thing to take away from this is the warrior god and goddess within when it comes to communication. And ideally fighting to be heard or seen, depending on where you're at in your healing, and how we go through the mental process of how we speak to ourselves. And we're going through a massive awakening and ascension to create with the power of our words. So this is a very important retrograde because I can't remember the last time we actually had a retrograde in a fire sign. It's been a little while. I feel like it's been a lot of earth recently. So definitely a big change for this year. And so you're seeing, ideally with Aries being that first sign in the zodiac, it's all about the self. There's a reasoning why I believe that this was set into motion and given this power to be as powerful as Aries is. If you know Aries people, you know that they are some of the most fun people to be around. They're the most passionate people to be around. The area of the body it rules is on the head, or is the head, not on the head, is the head. And Taurus is the neck. So anything from here on up is what this rules. And it's interesting because in a traditional birth, what comes out first is the head. So think about that. And so it is also about our soul purpose. Fire is all about soul, passion, what drives us, for us to create. The Mars rules obviously the sign, but it talks about as well, it rules in astrology how we physically move within our daily lives. It also rules our sex lives. And so the biggest part of life in all forms, if you guys have heard me say in multiple videos, is to ultimately create. So it's not a coincidence that this is where it is. And so with this retrograde, we're seeing with the Aries and Libra axis when it comes to our relationships. So you're going to be seeing how you are speaking to yourself by the way that people speak to you. Do these people speak to you in a kind way? Do they talk to you in a disrespectful way? Do they talk to you in a kind and loving way? You will see that there are people who will aggressively talk to you. How they are very unforgivingly talking to you. How they're aggressive and self-sabotaging. And I'm not trying to make this all negative here, but it's more about us reviewing that, really seeing that. And so it is retrograde from April 1st to the 24th, and it goes direct on the 25th. So it's going to be a few weeks where we're going to feel a little turmoil, but I feel like it's going to be fast. Just because, like any fire sign, it's fast. So you're not going to be sitting here forever in it. I mean, I know that the eclipse is coming up, but like I said, we'll touch on it, but it feels a little rough. And so it's really interesting to see. So you're going to see the shadow aspects too of Aries. I was going to say Mars, but so anger management, argumentative, overly righteous, being super headstrong, aggressiveness, controlling, and selfishness. So these are all shadow sides of Aries. And so what we really need to do is look and ground down into our reality and not try and argue and blame other people. Because with this ascension, we're really seeing that what we manifest creates our reality, the way that we believe, and seeing that the way that how we think and like things that are done. So you guys have probably been seeing like things that you're thinking about, like even if you just think about it, it pops up into your reality. I've had so many people telling me this over the past few weeks. They're like, yeah, like I've been thinking about this and I see it in my daily aspect. Well, that's why, because Earth is ascending, and so we need to review this, and that's why you're seeing all those things. We got lucky today. Aries, god of war, and Sekhmet of Egyptian mythology has come through with some very important information for us. I was so happy. I always love when they talk to me because it's just like I feel special. But they tell me everything that I need to know, and so Aries, it wants us to know that aggression is pent up frustration, which is an energy that we hold in the body, and we usually don't know how to to work with that. We're not taught how to work through anger and what it truly means, and so we usually verbalize it. And that's what Mercury is all about. Mercury rules travel, thought process, siblings, how we speak. Like it rules Gemini as well, and Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. So it's how we internalize things. So when we have this in Mercury, it's about, communication and all of those fun things. So he asks us, what are our other outlets that we can use for creativity and self-expression? Verbal communication is not the only way to express anger. And he's like, yeah, and he's going like, yeah, I get it. Like, we're going through a retrograde and we're going to see that. But it's also about the energy of Aries, where we create creative projects, creative passions. It's not as dreamy as it would be with Pisces, but if you think about it, in a water sign, but Leo is one of the most creative signs. So we have other ways and other outlets besides words verbally abusing people to work up this energy and express it. He says, feel the emotion through without the violence and the physical and the verbal. Don't feel shameful about being creative, and just remember that physical, verbal, it's all about the body. Mars rules the body, so we may this is why you feel with violence, you hit people, or you and I know it's not the right thing to do. Violence is never the answer, and this is what they're telling me that we're trying to move away from. Humanity on its own is learning to not be so violent in nature, because this planet has a very heavy karmic past of violence, and we're trying to break through that. And so it feels tough, but it's just, we have to remember that Mars does physically rule the body, the sex drive, the aggression, the urges, that all of those things. Sekhmet also came in, and I love her take on it, and she goes, aggression is power that we can use it for good. It's not meant to be bad. People make it so negative, and that we should not be ashamed of these creative energies and sexual energies that we carry within this, and how we think about it, and how we process it, and how we go about it. And she asks, which is key, and I want you to take this with you, what does the passion mean for you? What does passion mean for you? Because that's what Aries is, soul drive, down to the core of what we want. And she says, what is it that you're fighting for that needs balance? So it's the best example that I can give is, imagine getting really angry at somebody, whether it's your kid because you asked them to do something and they didn't do it, or you're getting fed up with something. 90% of the time you look at the anger, what is the passion and the drive, and you're like, I am not going to be treated like this. This doesn't fit with me in my morals, my values, and just in life. And this is who you are to the core. This is going to show you who you are to the core and what your values are and what you live for. And to work through that is, don't view it as negative. It's only negative when, sorry, I'm like, I can't read what I wrote. It only gets negative when we act upon it and we do things that we would be, as she said, judged for. And where do you hear judgment from? Well, we just have a lunar eclipse in Libra, right? So if you guys didn't watch that video, go ahead and take a look, but that's the balance of the scales, right? So this is how these two energies work together. And so it's important for us to understand that actions are something that we choose. And this is how Libra comes to find that balance in right and wrong. So it starts with us and who we are. So some things that obviously we'll go over the typical things you should not do during a Mercury retrograde. Don't sign any contracts. If you can't, don't do any contract with anybody. Verbalized, signed, nothing. I just don't recommend it. If you do it and you need to, that's one thing, but I don't recommend it. It is not a good time to argue. You're not going to get anywhere because everybody's communication is going to be very, I don't want to be like very, very aggressive, but it's going to be, you're going to see a lot of passion and drive in people's way they talk about things, but don't be a doormat either. Not a good time to have surgery due to the body, and I would not get any teeth work done. I wouldn't, it's not a great time to fully do changes to your body. There could be some miscommunications, just saying. Travel, once again, aggressive behaviors on the roads, so just keep an eye on all those things. And this is not a time this is the biggest time to probably not start any new projects, like fully start new projects or put out a big project that you have been working on that is like life's work. I would not do it. It is not the best time, because Aries, once again, the beginning of the zodiac wheel, it is about bringing our things to life, review them. If you are questioning something about it and you're just like, I'm going to put it out, don't do it. Just review, okay? To do, review how you talk to yourself. Tell yourself that talk to yourself lovingly. Review the parts of yourself and see through your relationships where you're struggling with that and seeing how people communicate to you. And if you're triggered, this is what needs to be changed or healed from childhood. And once again, especially review your projects, and particularly for some, I'm hearing manifestations, like time to review what it is that you truly want to manifest and making sure it's the right fit for you. I have 2 minutes left. I'm going to pull one card. The best thing for us to do during this Mercury retrograde in Aries would be from Spirit. What do we do? All right, so I have the 9 of Wands reversed. So once again, masculine energy. This is not the time to be running yourself ragged and burning yourself out. This is a really great time to see who your true support system is. Review who your support system is, who doesn't really want to see you grow, who isn't trying to help you move forward with your goals and your dreams. And I'm seeing this. If you're seeing that maybe it's time to go separate ways, because people are just taking, and you're just, Spirit, this is a message for maybe everybody or somebody set specific, you're just not in alignment anymore. You grew, you're not on the same path, and it's time for you to kind of go somewhere else. But this is just not the time to be aggressive in general, moving forward, but a great time to see who your relationships and who you are and your inner circle and where it is that you're seeing growth and what needs your attention. Because I just feel like somebody here has people in their energy field who just you feel like they try to block you and keep you from where you're going. But Spirit is saying they're only going to block you if you allow them to. And look at here. See how this person is like here and you feel like you can't move forward? There's another space for you in the back to go. Like, look at the mountains and see that you can go a different direction. It's just not with this person or in that person's direction. And they're saying release it and let it go, okay? And once again, Spirit's saying it's best for us not to be so angry and caught up in our anger. Sit within, feel through what we need to feel through, and let go as we need to. So until next time, namaste.